Hi everybody, I'm Wayne, and today I want to talk about Kabbalah and its remarkable connection to other spiritual systems. The truth cannot be hidden forever from those who are true seekers. They can burn or change the maps, but the territory remains to be rediscovered. My own journey with Kabbalah began 20 years ago when I first encountered the Tree of Life diagram. Initially it seemed like an abstract symbol with arbitrary correspondences. But as I studied other spiritual systems, traditional Chinese medicine, chakra theory, astrology, I began to notice patterns that couldn't be coincidental. Through years of comparing these systems and testing the relationships, I discovered what I believe is the original blueprint underlying all spiritual traditions. Let's start with the Tree of Life. As you may know, the Tree of Life has a root, Malkuth, a trunk, Yesod and Sephirot, and 7 branches giving us 10 spheres or Sephirot. This ancient pattern is represented by the menorah and appears in many religions across cultures and time periods. The 10 Sephirot are beautifully reflected in our natural world. In the macrocosm, they correspond to the 10 celestial bodies of our solar system: Earth, Sun, Moon, and 7 planets. In the microcosm, they're represented by our 10 fingers, a connection that ancient traditions recognized as above, so below. It's important to understand that the layout of the pattern is symbolic, showing relationships between the spheres rather than physical locations. What fascinated me was discovering how the 6 Sephirot of the side pillars correspond precisely to the 6 main meridians of traditional Chinese medicine. The 7th branch, at the crown of the tree, represents the 7th element running through what TCM calls the conception and governing vessels. These 7 elements flow from the 7 main chakras from root to crown. The Tree of Life has 22 paths, derived from the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. 10 of these paths correspond to the 10 Sephirot, and the remaining 12 correspond to the 12 zodiac signs. These are also represented by the 12 tribes of Israel camping around the tabernacle in biblical accounts. When I first recognized this pattern, it opened an entirely new dimension of understanding. What's particularly remarkable is how the 12 zodiac signs correspond directly to the 12 meridians of traditional Chinese medicine flowing from the 6-side Sephirot in yin-yang pairs. They also correspond to the genitals, the anus, and the 10 toes, another microcosmic reflection of this universal pattern. Through my research and practice, I've found that some traditional associations have been misinterpreted over time. Let me briefly give a summary of what I believe are the correct associations. Malkuth equals the world card in tarot, which corresponds to earth and material manifestation. Yesod is represented by the sun card, symbolizing the sun and the yang causal plane. Sephirot aligns with the moon card, representing the moon and the yin causal plane. Keter is associated with the Fool card, Saturn, and the Yang spiritual plane. Da'at corresponds to the blank card, Pluto, and the Yin spiritual plane. Had is symbolized by the Chariot card, Mars, and the Yang physical plane. Netzah is linked to the Judgment card, Mercury, and the Yin physical plane. Gevura corresponds to the Emperor card, Jupiter, and the Yang emotional plane. Hesed is represented by the Empress card, Venus, and the Yin emotional plane. Bina aligns with the Magician card, Uranus, and the Yang mental plane. Lastly, Hakma is associated with the High Priestess card, Neptune, and the Yin mental plane. The zodiac signs follow a similar pattern of organization. Aries, represented by the Wheel of Fortune, Leo by Strength, and Sagittarius by Temperance, are all Yang signs on the Yang side of the tree, often labeled as fire signs in traditional astrology. Taurus, symbolized by the Hierophant, Virgo by the Hermit, and Capricorn by the Devil, are all Yin signs on the Yang side of the tree and traditionally recognized as Earth signs. Gemini, represented by the Lovers, Libra by Justice, and Aquarius by the Star, are all Yang elements on the Yin side of the tree, known as air signs in traditional astrology. Lastly, Cancer, symbolized by the Tower, Scorpio by Death, and Pisces by the Hanged Man, are all Yin signs on the Yin side of the tree, and are traditionally labeled as water signs. The strong correlation between traditional astrology and this interpretation of Kabbalah lends credibility to its authenticity, and shows that there is only one blueprint of reality, expressing itself as an infinite fractal. What makes this knowledge so valuable isn't just its theoretical elegance, but its practical applications. When I began applying these correspondences in energy work and meditation, I experienced profound shifts in consciousness. Understanding these connections allows you to work with your energy system more precisely, to recognize patterns in your life that correspond to cosmic rhythms, and to access states of consciousness associated with specific Sephirot. For example, when facing emotional challenges, working with the energies of Gevura and Hesed, the emotional plane Sephirot, through specific meditation practices can bring balance. When seeking mental clarity, the energies of Bina and Hokmah can be engaged. This system provides a comprehensive map for spiritual development that addresses every aspect of human experience. This understanding not only gives us new insight into spirituality and religion, but also provides fresh perspectives on medicine, psychology, and even physics. The patterns reflected in these ancient systems continue to appear in our scientific discoveries, suggesting that our ancestors understood more about the nature of reality than we often give them credit for. We live in an age of enlightenment where all your deepest spiritual questions can be answered. If you want to become part of our spiritual community, where we delve into these subjects on a much deeper level, bringing practical application to all these theoretical concepts, then please join one of our WhatsApp groups through the shop link in the description below. Also subscribe, share, and comment so we can get this knowledge out to true seekers. Sharing is caring. Go in peace.